Good night and welcome to another episode of Reason with Ashleigh-Ann. I'm Ashleigh-Ann, and as you come in, tell me where you are connecting from. I am connecting from the beautiful city of Kingston, Jamaica. Right? It's still pretty, it's still beautiful, it is still open for business. Okay? Alright, so as you come in, just tell me where you are connecting from. I want to pull up the conversation on my other device as you come in, and let me just say Makeda is in the building. Let me just say I must thank you for all the persons who shared last week's video. Makeda is grateful as well. Yes, and what else are you grateful for? Yeah, so she's quite grateful for your support. I'm most grateful. If this is the first time you're watching the show, Reason with Ashleigh-Ann is a show I do right here on Jamaicans.com Facebook page, right? Every Saturday, 7 p.m. Jamaica time, 8 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time. And we have Gregory Johnson here. Alright, Gregory, tell Makeda hi for me. And who else? Who else would you like to talk to? I think tonight is the night where I show Makeda to the camera. If it is that you want to see Makeda, please comment below. So it's the first time you're watching the show, just letting you know that Reason with Ashleigh-Ann is a show I do on Jamaicans.com for you, Jamaicans and lovers of Jamaican culture who are spread across the world, the globe, and want to connect with what is happening in the island. So each week we talk about topical issues in the island, and when I say we, it's a conversation between you and I. So you share and I share as well. Also, I would want to pick up all of my loyal people every week on a jump into this chat. Truly appreciate and love you. Alright, so if I'm seeing correctly, I have Cave Car from Michigan. Cave, like this first time you're joining us, welcome to the show. Leroy forward from Michaela. Is there hold on, is there somewhere in the world by the name of Michaela? Like there's a country? I'd really love to know where that is, Leroy. Please let me know. And yeah, let me know, because the word or the name Michaela is dear to me. Leroy said hailing from Harrisburg. Me just a drop in. Well, hello, yeah, drop in, but yeah, stay for the entire conversation. Me just a say, right? Valerie Henry is here and she got 50 stars. Wow, nice. Valerie, you are a regular. Okay, so I see the numbers jumping, and I know you see the caption of the video, and I know right away you have a lot to say. Yes, we have seen an upsurge in the COVID-19 cases in Jamaica. When I say upsurge, don't bother get frightened now, because I'm gonna tell you, say it is so much more than other countries. 30 new confirmed cases have been identified in Jamaica, bringing our total number of confirmed cases in Jamaica to 958. The last time I checked, Ashleigh-Ann, checked, right? And the question that I'm asking, who is at fault for this? Is this the responsibility of church or state? Who is at fault for the upsurge in the COVID-19 cases? Well, I just want to go say church and state, and Makeda squeak the toy when I say state. But we will get to that. That's Makeda's opinion. Alright? See, she do it again. I don't know if you've seen the stories, but basically, earlier this week, around about Thursday, we had an announcement. That was Independence Day. We had an announcement from the Prime Minister of the country, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, basically confirming Yeah. Basically confirming that we have 30 cases of COVID-19, and because we have some unconscionable Jamaicans, he has decided, well, he and his team will decide on what measures they will put in place to manage the upsurge. They have no intention, well, to be honest, the Prime Minister and his team, they have no intention for it for the numbers to jump. And no one in the country, honestly, if I'm being fair, I think intentionally want COVID-19 cases to increase. Nobody. Unless, I don't know, unless you're Zazabod. I honestly think so. You don't want numbers to jump. So it is a serious situation, especially because we have Jamaicans who are overseas, who just glad that the borders are open and want to come home and don't want to be worried too much about it. So we're going to get into the meat of the matter. So if you've heard about the about this information before now, you can comment below. How and why? Basically, through investigation, it was reported that the cases came from two parishes, from St. Thomas and from Clarendon. In Clarendon, the specific community is Sandy Bay in Clarendon, and according, and I'm going to tell you, based on a Gleaner article that I wrote, I would say it was a very interesting and descriptive article, from a first person point of view, anonymous by the way, of what happened. Incidentally, there was a deaconess at a church. Go and read the article. I'm not name no church here, so, but there was supposedly a deaconess at a church who fell ill and came to an open gathering being held by the church. At that same gathering, no one, according to the first person account, was wearing a mask. No, it was hardly any respecting of the 6 feet apart social distancing protocol, right? And the capacity, the number of persons who were actually in that specific gathering, church gathering, was over the required number. So out of that gathering, there were some people who tested positive for COVID-19. So of course, the health authorities came in and quarantined Sandy Bay in Clarendon. And of course, some of the persons were from St. Thomas, so they had to also quarantine a specific community in St. Thomas. Gregory said brought in by Jamaicans. Gregory, I'm glad you pointed that out, but I'm going to get to that shortly because I must address what the CDC had to say about Jamaican traveling, international travel to Jamaica. I want to share my thoughts on that. But before we get into that, I want to hear your thoughts. I'll share from my perspective. This is the second time, just based on journalistic research, this is the second time since the pandemic we have a church responsible, right? Our church being identified as the culprits or the purveyors of bad and misinformation relating to protecting ourselves in this pandemic. This is the second time. Remember, and I did a live on it, you know. I wish I could just flip back to that live. I did a live on the story of the Portmore pastor who disobeyed the government order and went ahead and had over 100 people in our yard. I keep church. Okay? Now this pastor or church grouping went ahead and had convention in Sandy Bay, Clarendon. And I'm saying, watch out now. I've been a part of so many Zoom meetings, Google Meet, Blackboard Connect, so many virtual Facebook Live, so many virtual engagement. And I am saying, is it that the church community is not equipped to get these things done in Jamaica? Why there is a pressing need to meet in person? I can't understand it. And alright, there's a pressing need to meet in person, but what to the safety and health protocols? No mask. And I understand that and the story I'm quoting was from the Gleaner. You understand, the Jamaica Gleaner. So I understand that it's a first person account, so you have to test the reliability and the validity of the information. So probably there may be persons there who are wearing masks. But if it is that one somebody could have tell one journalist say nobody never wear masks, there were enough people not following the protocol. That's how I see it. And you can correct me if I am wrong. They love to say Jamaica no know how to follow rules. And I think at a time like this, we just need to cooperate. You see, a lot of us suffering financially from this, you know. A lot of businesses are affected. And I'm not only speaking about Jamaican owned businesses. I'm speaking about businesses and business owners who do business with and in Jamaica. Right? Neril says, hello from Orlando. Hi. The church people are the worst because they believe the COVID can't affect them because they're covered under the blood. And she put that in quotation mark. God will protect me, and she put that in quotation mark. You see, I don't even want to comment any further on it. Neril said it. Gregory said, oh, okay. I'm going to share what Carvel said, hailing from Toronto, Canada. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Keep the comments going, guys. I just can't understand it. And if it is that you are a church leader watching this live, I would hope that you start to invest in learning how to utilize the resources, you know, so to keep in touch with your church members, you know. I don't understand why we have to talk to church people. People who say that them going to abide by and be moral citizens and uphold the laws of the land. I mean, something like this will cause real death. You understand? Cause people lose loved ones. You can't encourage your church members to follow the protocol. You can't set the example. I have a problem with that. So because a few Jamaicans decided say, I not turn on my camera, I not go pay for internet service or pull up together and sit down in front of one camera or even on the phone, WhatsApp, and have church. There are 30 new confirmed cases of COVID in Jamaica. And I won't talk about the testing, the limitations with our testing facility, COVID-19 testing facility in Jamaica, because, and the reason I'm not going to talk about it, some of the limitations that is being widely reported about in Jamaica, other countries are being faced with it too. This is a novel virus that is spreading across the world, and every country is learning a lesson about how to manage its treatment. So me not feel say, and this is how me go come in with the CDC thing now. Me not feel say CDC for the beat with so bad, not beat with so bad. Because guess what now? We are not the only country with 958 people confirmed with COVID-19. We have more countries with way more people confirmed. In America itself, within states, you have more confirmed cases. So I took great offense, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. I took great offense to the advisory level 3 warning from the Center of Disease Control that travelers, international travelers to Jamaica should caution on non-essential travel because there are limited resources in Jamaica. Look here, I think as much as you are equipped with the best in medical technology, this is a novel virus that it has to be dealt with month by month, case by case. So I feel like them a beat with bad, and a beat with bad unnecessarily. I want to hear what you have to say. Alright, just a minute. Let me get Makeda, you come. Come. Want to be a part of the conversation? Okay, so I promise I'm going to show you Makeda. So here's Miss Makeda. Say hi. Hi. Alright. Okay. She's a little fussy. But I want to share your thoughts. And we have here Janet says CDC scare me too about traveling to Jamaica. Belza said good night. ZZ says they can't conduct church virtually and they just don't want. Oh, they can conduct church virtually. They just don't want to. That's foolish. That's what me think too. That's exactly what I think, ZZ. I think them need fee. You know, I was gonna say something now, and then, but say, you know what? Let me hold it back. But I think they could probably find a budget for it. I don't know where they're gonna get the money from, but I think they could find a budget. So even if them don't understand the technology, hire some young people with the skills, me over here, to help you set up your virtual church meetings and do it. Bank transfer, online transfer, go like this. Whoosh. You get your money, whoosh. Just like that. So, if the offering money them are about, but the tithes are offering them are about that easily, whoosh, one way. Stacy says, you are so correct. Stacy, my challenge is that every country in the world is affected by this, whether directly or indirectly. And I think if we do not exercise some patience with each other, you're going to push people to the brink. You know, many people out of job because there are restrictions and movement in Jamaica. And if you know, as an international organization or internationally recognized organization, going to come and say, don't bother if it's not essential travel, don't come to Jamaica. What are you doing to the life? What impact, what influence, how are you affecting the livelihood of those people who have been sitting there for 2-3 months without a paycheck? Them just open back the borders. Not do that to it. And for the people and for the persons who have been complaining about finding fault with the protocols in place, thank God Jamaica have protocols in place at the airport, at all our ports of entry, to ensure that we are checking through the persons coming in. Yeah, it's different. It's a new normal. I completely get that. But I just have a challenge with persons who just nitpick everything. It's not going to be the same it's not going to be the same waiting time in the airport if you're going to be testing every person, if you're going to be ensuring that people wearing their mask. It's going to be different. You understand? Even within the island, if you take some of those private coach services, you have to wear your mask. It's the new normal. You have to be tested. At some stores in Jamaica, you have to sanitize your hand before you enter the place, or if you have your own hand sanitizer, you sanitize your hand. It's just the new normal. So my thing is not that Jamaica not doing it, but come here now, man. Remember say COVID-19 catch where we were economically, politically and socially. So work with the system. Church people, especially those guilty, work with the system, man, and stop work against the system, because them if one if not really church people. Niril says Council General clarified what CDC said. They mentioned other countries as well. Funny, they mentioned countries that are doing much better than the US. That is what I'm saying, Niril. Why would the CDC, let me understand the warning if you don't have to travel right now, you don't need to. You understand? I understand that. But honestly, I can tell you, it's not easy quarantining. So if it is that you can follow the safety protocols and enjoy Jamaica same way, go Jamaica Tourist Board is telling us to rediscover Jamaica. And just a few lives ago, I was telling you about all those beautiful places in Jamaica to enjoy. And no phone, no one come home. And we want you to come home. Put on your mask. Put on your mask and walk with your wipes and your hand sanitizer and come home. So I take great offense to it. I understand it, but I take great offense to it because I don't think the United States of America is in the best space in terms of following safety protocols and health protocols in their management of the COVID-19 virus. Correct? Well, COVID-19. In the management of COVID-19. So correct me if I'm wrong. ZZ said they just want to undermine Jamaica because they have been handling it better than the big countries. Exactly. Maureen says, my piece is that we were doing very well before the port opened. Not saying it should not. But America is not doing anything with good sense. So best them stay and don't come here. Another thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, Maureen. In the advisory, I just read it, right? Just read it over. Because I read it earlier and I'm saying, let me read it again before I do the live. Do you know that if it is that you're tested positive in Jamaica, according to the warning, if you're tested positive for if you're tested positive in Jamaica, then there is a possibility that you may not be permitted back in the US, or you may not, so you may not get to re-enter the US. That's scary territory. What are you saying to people? How can you put out an advisory like that? You understand? Where's the explanation behind that for people who probably need to come home to deal with urgent business, family business, attend funerals? You understand? What are you saying to them? I don't understand. Judith says, I think they're quite out of order, but it may suit us well because it may keep some of the COVID travelers in the US. And Judith said, I don't mean Judith said that, right? Velta said, in Canada, you have to hand sanitize to go in all the stores. Yeah, we have to do that. For most places in Jamaica, you have to do that. You have to sanitize your hand. And I think, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it is out of the way for store owners and other organizations, government or private, to ask you to follow those basic safety protocols. Basic. You understand? So, that is exactly where I'm leaving it for tonight. I want to encourage you to share this video. Let me tell you something. I saw my video all over the place last week. I'm grateful. I realize that you truly appreciate the information that I'm sharing with you, and I will continue to do it. But guess what? You are very much a part of this conversation and this journey. Reason with Ashleigh-Ann on Jamaicans.com. You're on this journey with me. So guess what? Send me a message. I am on Facebook. Look for my Facebook page, not my profile, because I'm more on my Facebook page than my profile. Send me a message with any topic suggestion that you want to share. Last week I had somebody, I think, I don't remember her name. Her name started with Arthur. Wanted me to do a part 2 on the dreadlock story. By the way, I don't hear nothing different, The written judgment has been out, and guess what? I don't see where anything has changed. I don't know if I'm out of the loop, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. We're still hearing that the young lady, the 7-year-old, so she was 5-year-old at the time when the case started. She's 7 now because 2 years. Jamaica State. So there's no new information as it relates to whether or not she'll be permitted to school with locks. The judgment is that she needs to put her locks, come to school. We have a problem with that. We go rope to pitney them ear. We go bantu not pitney them ear. We go wear it low like this and go on a school, go sport with natural ear. It's a protest, silent protest. Sometimes it's something working on. So that's another topic though for another show. But I must tell you, thanks for, I know you'll do it after this live ends. Share this video on your timeline. continue the conversation in your timeline. Follow me on Instagram. I am A_Mowat. On Twitter, I'm A_Mowat. You look for me, Ashleigh-Ann Mowat. On Facebook, you'll find me. And I'm also on YouTube, my full name. Alright? So, until next week, come reason with me.